You and your friend have been complaining about the lack of opportunities at work for months. Every promotion seems to go to somebody else. Some of the choices have been a little questionable. So both of you are always talking about leaving because clearly growth is not happening here. One day a position opens up and both of you qualify. So you send it to your friend and you tell them to apply. And they say, "Girl, I don't see the point, and I don't know about you, but I'm done looking like a fool in this place." So you tell them, just stop complaining and apply. Let's prove ourselves wrong just once. And they agree. Except later, you find out they never applied, but you did, and you got promoted. So naturally you're excited, and you tell your friend, and they say, well, you know what they say, you gotta give head to get ahead. I'm just kidding. Congratulations. Interesting. Sometimes friendships don't start growing apart because somebody changed. Sometimes they start growing apart because one person moved and the other person suddenly has feelings about being left where they chose to stay. So today, I want to break down 3 things. Why somebody else's growth can suddenly create tension in friendships. How regret can turn into resentment when somebody does not want to confront their own choices. And most importantly, how to figure out whether you just witnessed an ugly moment or a flag telling you this friendship may no longer be able to grow with you. Hi, I'm No One, and I help people translate confusing behavior, identify patterns, and get clear about what the moment is actually asking them to do. Because confusion gets expensive when you keep making decisions before you understand what you're looking at. And if you want help sorting through a situation and getting clearer on what you feel or what your next move might be, use the clarity link in my bio. So back to the friend. They had the same information, the same opening, the same opportunity. You actually encouraged them to apply, but they chose not to. And then you got the thing they convinced themselves was impossible. Now they have a problem because your promotion didn't just give you something, it showed them something. It showed them, maybe I could have tried. And that can be uncomfortable to sit with because now they have 2 options. They can sit with it. Damn, maybe I talked myself out of an opportunity. Or they can make your success suspicious. You probably knew somebody. They always liked you better. You must have done something. You see how that works? If your success was unfair, then they don't have to examine their decision not to try. Their regret just found somewhere else to go. It became resentment and jealousy, disappointment, comparison. Those feelings can exist in a friendship, but that alone does not make somebody a bad friend. The question is, can they feel bad about where they are without making you feel bad about where you're going? Like if you understood that, because that distinction matters. Now, this is where I would be a little careful. Some people hear that one comment and immediately say, cut them off, red flag. Maybe, but I don't know that yet. I would actually call this a yellow flag. Something happened. It deserves your attention, but one ugly moment does not automatically tell you the entire story. So clarify it. You could simply say, hold on. I know you said you were joking, but what did you mean by that? Then shut up. Let them answer because their response gives you more information than the original joke. Maybe they say, honestly, that was messed up. I'm mad at myself because I should have applied. I took a shot at you. My bad. Okay, still not cute, but now you have accountability. That's different from, girl, stop being sensitive. You know how people get promoted around here. Now, your yellow flag has something else attached to it. And I want to ask you, is this an immediate red flag for you? Let me know if so and why in the comments. I would genuinely love to hear your input because everybody else's line is going to be different. Now, back to the friendship. The real information comes from what happens next. Because this may not actually be about one promotion. Watch what happens as your life continues moving. You get another opportunity, they make another joke. You start dating somebody healthy. Oh, you think you're better than everybody now? You make new friends. Oh, so you forgot about us? You start setting boundaries and they say you changed? Now you are no longer looking at one bad reaction. You are looking at a pattern. And that yellow flag may be turning a little deeper into orange because the question has changed. It is no longer, were they disappointed about the promotion? Now it's, does my growth consistently create punishment inside this friendship? That is a very different problem. A lot of friendships are built during sameness, same job, same neighborhood, same problems, same money, same relationship dramas and complaints. And that can create genuine closeness because it's easy to confuse circumstantial alignment with directional alignment. But eventually life introduces differences. One person heals first, one person earns more, one person gets married, one person moves, and now the friendship has to prove that the connection was bigger than the circumstances that introduced you. Your friend does not have to move at your pace, and they don't have to want what you want. And you do not have to abandon them just because your life looks a little different. But you should be able to succeed without constantly managing their reaction to your success. Because if every step forward requires you to apologize, shrink, hide good news, or reassure somebody that you are not leaving them behind, you may not be growing apart. You may simply be discovering the distance that was already there. So, if you learned one thing from this video, share it with a friend. Let them know you peep game. And if you learned two things, subscribe, because identifying the behavior is one thing. Knowing whether to clarify it, observe it, make a decision, or enforce a boundary, that is where clarity actually tells you what the next step is.